Welcome to another episode of 600 Seconds. My man, Andy Miller, my duo, the co-CEO of Energy, is here with us today. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for doing the podcast.
Yeah, it's
getting great reviews.
Grave reviews.
No, not grave. Great reviews. Is it grave reviews?
Grave would be bad.
Yeah, no, it's getting great reviews.
Great reviews, of course.
Obviously, because of the story, it's insane. So I'm just gonna start right off the rip, okay?
All right.
What is the worst job you have ever had in your life?
In high school.
No, really quickly.
Yeah.
Because I saw you getting like rushed. That
Yeah.
You can take 10 minutes on one answer if you want.
Okay, this is an easy one though.
Yeah.
So in high school, I worked at the FARC. You know what the FARC is? The FARC is the Federal.
What the FARC is the FARC?
What the FARC? It's the Federal Archive and Reserve Center, which means back in the day, if you got audited for your taxes, someone had to go and pull your taxes because they weren't digitized. So for the summer, I got paid I think it was $3.35 an hour, and I got a stack of tax IDs, and I had to go into the warehouse, get these ladders, and I had to pull a certain number of them within an hour and then bring them back. Every day, all summer, no sunlight in there, dust, disgusting. And I was afraid of heights too, and you had to go way up on the ladder. And so I'd go and I'd pull them all like within 10 minutes and then sit in the corner and listen to my little Walkman. And all I could get was AM radio. So I became an oldies fan because that was the only station I could get all summer.
Yeah.
I was like,
Only the lone.
worse, it was like Dion or something horrible because it was the only thing that came in on AM radio. I was like, I'm getting a real job because I am not going to pull freaking tax returns. Oh, and I would come home, I had nosebleeds almost every night because there was so much dust. Oh, it was terrible. The
That's crazy. Okay, if you weren't doing what you're doing right now, obviously, and you work hard. Like I thought that I was a hard worker. Like you're literally always on, and that's tough for me to say because I've always been prideful of the fact that I'm the hardest working guy at whatever thing I was doing. You got me by a mile, dude. You're like literally always on.
I have no life.
Yeah, I mean,
I just can't shut my brain off. That's why.
Yeah, well, look, what I'm saying here is like, you're a successful dude. You're passionate, obviously, about what you're doing. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing. You don't need to be doing it. I always say like, I hope that I'm that big of a hustler when I get to be your age. You know what I'm saying? I do. I
heard
want
you
that.
saying, yeah.
You know, because it's
entertainment.
It's entertaining. So if you weren't doing what you're doing right now, which is what other space would you want to be involved in?
I always wanted to be president of NBC. Like network television. I wanted to pick shows and just try and run a network. I thought that'd be super cool.
Yeah. Well, you're making a lot of people happy. Like you're literally taking the honor that somebody has to be able to take 10 minutes, let alone a half hour of somebody's valuable time. It's like an honor for every single entertainer in the world. So that's actually a very, very good answer. I don't know. I can't believe I personally have never answered that. So what is the dumbest thing you have ever spent your money on? And I'll give you a couple of examples while you think about it. Every single person that I've had on here has said bottle service.
That's a dumb one. That's funny. The dumbest thing.
Because you told me a story about you guys went to a bar and you took the tab and it was like nothing but champagne.
That wouldn't be the story. The dumbest thing. I did buy a car recently that's really not me.
The M4.
It's so loud.
Yeah, he tells me he's not into sports car, and then he pulls up in an M4, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Because I had midlife crisis. I've always had a nice, car, but I've never been a supercar guy. And I buy this car, and it's so loud in the morning. Everybody looks at me, and I pull out, I drop my kid off for school. I just look like the biggest asshole.
No, that's a dope ass car.
It is a cool car. I like it. Yeah.
So you would say a car?
I would say I got to come back to that one, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not bad. What's one luxury that you cannot live without?
This one for sure. So I went to Japan for the first time representing Apple, and they stayed at a nice hotel, and they had those Toto toilets, the sick ass toilets, the toilet that you sit on and it's all warm, the seat's warm, and the Zamboni comes out and shoots water up your ass. And
well, just so we're clear, the Zamboni is those big ice shavers.
Yeah.
So
smooth it all out, right? It makes everything all good down there. Yeah. And I was like, I got one with like internet, little hotspot there. I got a warm seat.
You got a hotspot for your hotspot.
Yeah. I sit there every morning. I get up and Brett is always like, and you probably, because you're like, why are you up so early? I'm just sitting on the toilet doing work. I can't get off of it. I love it. It's like the greatest thing. And so it flushes too. You don't have to touch anything, which I know is great for you, right?
Yeah.
But now, because you're so used to going to the bathroom there, everywhere else I go, I leave my shit or something. I'm like, oh, I'm at someone's house. I forgot because I expected to flush for itself. I'm a leaver. It's horrible. I'll never get invited back. I don't know why.
As a prank, that's obviously smart, right? But
it's genius. You got to get it. Totally. Yeah, it's the greatest.
My brother once comes rushing out of we at the time when we lived at my parents' house, both of us. He comes running. I was like, yo, and I'm like, what? He's like, bro, you gotta help me. There's a fucking massive spider in here. I fucking where? He says, right there. So I run. He says, behind the dumpster. So I or the trash can, and I run back there, and it's like this massive, just stinky poop there, and he totally got me. But I he was younger, so I was like, felt like my protective instincts.
Yeah.
And that dude's. Another one of his favorites is like, we'll be in the car, and all of a sudden he's like, yo, it smells like bread in here. And he had just let one loose. And I'm like, bread? I'm like, no, it doesn't. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I just take the biggest whiff of just
eating his
gas.
colon.
Pretty much. What is the best gaming moment in your gaming career?
Well,
now, it doesn't have to be something that you personally did.
Yeah, well, that's easy. I mean, winning the championship for Shock a couple months ago was unbelievable. That was so much effort. We there's stories out there, but like we gave up the whole first season to get Super and Sinatra, especially Sinatra, because they weren't old enough to play until halfway through. So we were terrible for the first half and better the second half. And then I'm just so competitive, and we're like, we are not going to suck. Like, we are going to keep adding and building. And we had a thesis, and we stuck with it. And even after like the first map, like I knew we were going to crush them. Like, it was obvious that we were just the better team at that point.
Yeah.
But it was I stood up there, being such a sports fan, having watched all these other sports owners and coaches and everyone with the confetti coming down. I know you've been there a bunch of times, but I haven't really been there. And there was 13,000 people in the crowd. And I was like, I just stood it for a second. I was like, holy cow, man. Like, this is great. Like, this was a tremendous accomplishment. And I was just so proud of everybody. I felt like the biggest dad ever. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Running out into the stage and being able to celebrate with your team, there's nothing better.
It was the best.
Because although you can't be there, like, you can't mentally help them to not be in a slump, or you can't help. So when you help in a tiniest little bit of way to help them accomplish what they accomplished, what their dreams are, like, there's nothing better. You sort of feel attached to it. And I know that, like, I wasn't up there helping them win that and that they do it, but I do feel like a tiny little bit of pride in the fact that I had a tiny little bit to do with it.
And all the bumps along the way that nobody else knows. You know about this person's anxiety or this person's family issues or whatever it was, or superstitions or the roommate issue, or you name it, right? And this Shock team is... I hope they win Team of the Year. I really do. I almost hope they win Team of the Year more than Energy wins Org of the Year, because I don't think there'll ever be an Overwatch team at least like this ever again. The format's all different. I mean, when they went for a whole stage without losing a map, like, this was the most dominant team, and they worked their butt off, and they were not ever going to lose. They were destined.
All right. Sinatra got MVP. It's an incredible story, truly. Like, if you think about like everything that you guys went through to
Sinatra's like your boy, like Jordan. He got MVP of the regular season. He won the championship. He won the World Cup. He got MVP of the World Cup. Then he got to be in the Fallon show.
He's nasty.
He's nasty.
That boy's nasty. Can't wait to have him on the eavesdrop. If somebody spots you at a bar, what's your favorite drink? What can somebody buy you?
Not a big.
I don't think we've gotten to that point where we've shared a beer at least.
Yeah, I just drink. Yeah, we have it. Yeah.
I
think I had the bet. I think you didn't, because you were going to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm not the drinker. Yeah,
I know, I'm not a huge drinker. I like beer.
Yeah,
but it's like it's not my thing.
For everybody knows, for me, it's a Bacardi and Pepsi, right? Because
I like Tito's and Sprite.
Tito's and Sprite's cool. Yeah. I'm not a big vodka drinker. It's just not what I am. All right, last question, and this is something that I ask everybody. If you can turn any animal in the animal kingdom into a 13-inch pet that you can walk and carry and put in a backpack or in a bag, what would you pick?
Easy. I love pandas. I'm a panda guy. I think they're the cutest fucking thing in the world. Every time I see a panda, I watch like a panda video, like, the dumb panda video that you end up seeing, it gets me every time. I just want to hug a panda. I've always wanted a panda as a pet.
I wish that the Certo Mike didn't leave so early as he did, because if he heard you say that about a panda, he thinks that they are the most useless animals on the planet, and they shouldn't exist.
They're adorable.
They eat leaves.
Yeah. They're eating poop all day.
Yeah, they don't eat sustenance that can keep their body mass active enough to be that, in his opinion, the dumbest animal. But I think they're amazing, and you're the first person to say panda.
Well,
so
thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one.